Let's talk about the rappers for a minute. Can we talk about the rappers for a moment? Let's talk about Tupac Shakur for a moment. Tupac Shakur is a child of the 60s. Tupac Shakur, born out of the spirit of the revolution of the 60s. Tupac Shakur, fire in his bones, huh? Boldness and rebellion in his blood. Born from his beautiful, bold Black Panther mama, Afeni, sitting in the jail cell, a revolutionary woman carrying the fruit of life, marking the child in her womb, marking the child with rebellion, marking the child with insurrection, marking the child with a spirit to not go along with what's been going on.
Tupac was one of the probably the most diverse MCs.
A real nigga since you figure that you ready to box. You got your knots from my nigga Freddie Foxx.
You know, and going through your history, you talk about how you and Tupac were good friends.
Yeah, that was my guy, man.
Tell us about that relationship, how y'all met, and like what that was.
You know
man.
what? Pac and I met. It was he did a song with me called "Don't Fuck with a Killer" in the '90s.
Yes.
90s, and it was like, you know, it was almost like kind of like how I met a lot of my friends from that era. We just kind of bonded. It's like, you know my music, I know yours. We meet each other, boom, automatic. Yo, what's up, man? Yo, nice to meet you. And then we became cool. You know, we had a lot of phone conversations. I got letters. I still got my letters from jail that we were back and forth writing. You know, when he was in Dannemora, I still keep those. You know, and a lot of people, I see a lot of people selling them and shit online and all post. I put that that's a personal thing for me, you know what I mean? And those letters, you know, have a lot of information in them that would kind of do a lot of cats dirty.
Right.
You know, but I my thing is to keep them where they are, you know what I mean? And you know, Pac was one of them guys that just always intricate, man, with everything, like very deep, you know, conversations. He, you know, the person you see on camera, you know, is the person that he is in private, but just toned down. You know what I mean? He is who he is, and I love Tupac, man. I still listen to his music online. I got all his catalog in my and I play a lot of that stuff still, man. And it's sad that, you know, the only time you really hear Pac is when Mother's Day come around and they play Dear Mama. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, I think he deserves a lot more than that, man, because a lot of these niggas think they Tupac. You know, a lot of these motherfuckers think they Tupac.
Now you mentioned, man, like in the studio, he was a leader.
Yeah.
In the studio. Can you explain that?
He was one of them guys that, like, when we did KILLA, it was like me, him, and Raven Zeno. And I noticed, like, Pac would come in. He came right in. You know, I put the music up.
That's a crazy combination right there, B.
It was wild. And I put the music up, and you know, he came to the table right away with ideas. Yo, man, we should do this and put this here and put that there. I never really worked with nobody like that before, at least lyrically.
Right.
You know,
with producers.
Yeah, producers like producers do that. You know, that's producing. It's
real
like,
producers, not beat makers.
You know, like a Primo and a Pete, and you know, even Alchemist. They'll come to the table and say, "Yo, man, I think it would be dope if you did this or you said this different." Pac was most rappers kind of try to hold their verses back so nobody can hear their shit until it's that time, which is fucking corny, but you know, you're gonna say what the fuck you're gonna say anyway. Right. But Pac was like, yo, man, we should do this, I got this idea in the front, we'll put this skit, and you got, and your line, he wrote like a mini movie in the beginning, and he said, yo, you say this. He wrote lines for me, him, and Stretch and all that, and I still got the rhyme he wrote. Like, he signed the paper. Like, I do that shit too when I do rhymes.
You keep everything.
I keep all of the lyrics written down because, you know, you documenting your words throughout history. And from the first time I wrote a rhyme to now, I got all my books, man. And you've been to the studio, you see I got all my shit. And I got, you know, I signed something on the bottom that I never tell people what it say, but, you know, I know what it means.
Right.
And Pac was like that. He wrote his rhyme and he said, Foxx, I'm gonna say my shit here, you say your shit there, and Zeno, you come and say your shit here. You know, he was definitely that way, and I never really experienced that with rappers in the studio.
How did you respond to that? Because I know rappers have egos.
I thought it was dope.
Right.
I thought it was dope. Reason I thought, you know who else is like that? Let me just say, I think one other KRS-One is like that. Those are only two. Everybody else is kind of laid back, and you know they don't. You know, those two guys didn't care whether they went first or last. They just did what they did. Right. You know, I had the experience of writing with Kane one time, but we wrote together 4 lines here. You say this next line. We did that, but Pac was really direct with it.
He was an orchestrator.
He was direct. He was directing. He was like, you know, and he sat behind the board like he was engineering when I did my verse, and I thought that shit was all right, man. Because I'm always the one in that position. You know what I mean? When you're technically sound in the studio, and a lot of cats just know, record me. And you know what I mean? You know, most niggas just go and they go, all right, yo, we ready? Okay, I'm gonna go right. Just count me in. You know, that's usually what you hear.
Right.
You know, but this wasn't that. You know what I mean? It's like he knew what he was doing.
Only Gab can do it like this. Yo, YouTube, what up? It's your homie Gab, I'm in the building. And this is MAKAVELI Media. When people think about Tupac and his collaborations, they always think about songs like California Love featuring Dr. Dre, or Two of America's Most Wanted featuring Snoop Dogg. You know, big commercial hits like that. But one of the songs that I think is very interesting, that always get overlooked, and a lot of people simply just don't know about, is Tupac and Bumpy Knuckles, aka Freddie Foxx. This song also featured Benzino. A lot of y'all familiar with Benzino from his work on the reality TV shows, but Benzino been around for a long time. Well, anyway, the song is called Fucking With a Killer, and I believe it was Bumpy Knuckles' song that he featured Tupac on. But nevertheless, it's an underground joint, and I really like this song. I always have. And I like the backstory because Freddie Foxx, a.k.a. Bumpy Knuckles, is a serious dude, man. You know, he's been around a long time. He's one of them New York City OGs that was down with like every clique, whether it was Boogie Down Productions, whether it was the Flavor Unit, Queen Latifah, Tretch, whether it was Gangsta, DJ Premier, Guru. Freddie Foxx was right there. Yeah, Freddie Foxx. He like a relic of New York City hip hop. And they hear that, you know, Tupac was his man, and Pac was writing him when he was locked up. And, you know, Freddie had so much respect for Tupac as an artist, man, that, you know, it's very refreshing to hear him tell how he met Tupac, how they wound up recording the song KILLA, and, you know, just what that session was like. So I thought that was dope, man. I couldn't wait to share that with y'all, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Anyway, don't forget to sub to the channel. This is MAKAVELI Media. It's been a pleasure as always. I'm your homie Gab. I'm signing off. I'm about to hit y'all with the peace.